Today is March 5th, 2021, about 2 weeks after recreational cannabis has become legal. So, what do we know? Let's start with first subsection 1, criminal law. What can you possess? Possession of 6 ounces or less of marijuana and using it on private property is now decriminalized in New Jersey for people ages 21 and up. That means you can't be criminally charged for it. Similarly, if you are under 21 and it's your first possession, there are reduced penalties for underage marijuana and alcohol possession, such as written warnings and referrals to community service programs. What is the future and past implications? Well, for future arrests and past crimes, perhaps the biggest impact of marijuana legalization is that it is no longer a crime to possess up to 6 ounces of weed, as well as up to 17 ounces of hashish. Arrests for those offenses stopped as soon as the law was signed. Police officers are no longer allowed to use, quote, the smell of raw or burnt marijuana as a reasonable articulable suspicion to stop or search a person or their car. The Attorney General also ordered prosecutors to dismiss, and there's a procedure for this, any pending charges for offenses that are no longer crimes under state law, even those that were charged prior to the effective date if they fit the parameters of the law. And that's an issue we get into with clients. There are 2 other groups of people affected by the law change. Those currently in the criminal justice system because of a marijuana charge, and people with past pot convictions. The state judiciary is responsible for vacating guilty pleas and other convictions in cases where the person is still serving a sentence or otherwise facing consequences for the crime. For people with past marijuana convictions but who are no longer in the criminal justice system, for those offenses, the state said it would set up an automatic expungement process and wipe their records clean. But the state has still not figured out how to automatically expunge records that are not completely digitized, such as in the e-courts or other system. As a criminal defense attorney who has defended scores of clients charged with low-level drug offenses, along with the rest of my practice, often these clients are charged more than once. Expunging past criminal records for these offenses will have a huge impact on people whose lives have been turned upside down by low-level drug offenses. That's criminalization. Let's talk about the business of marijuana. Business sales and the business of legalized marijuana. Opening a weed business. That's where I get most of my questions nowadays. So the law passed and was signed, actually 3 bills. So what's next? Well, don't expect anything to move so rapidly. Currently, it still isn't technically legal to buy or sell recreational marijuana. A lot of people don't know that. And wouldn't be until state officials write regulations and award licenses to the businesses that will make up the new legal market. But, as stated already, if you have what the law allows, you will not be in trouble or in violation of the law. So we are sort of in that gray zone. According to the New Jersey Cannabis Regulatory Commission, the CRC, residents probably won't be able to walk into a recreational marijuana dispensary and buy cannabis until sometime in 2022. However, current medical marijuana operators, which already have the retail infrastructure in place, might be able to begin recreational sales earlier, so long as they can meet the demands of their patients first. So that is how we will get started. The law does provide those medicinal operators a pathway to serve the broader adult use recreational community, again, as long as the medicinal things are covered. The work is just now beginning for the CRC and other state regulators who must decide, among other things, which cannabis products will be permitted in the state and which applicants will get licenses. Of course, all of my interested clients and prospective clients are so eager to jump in with both feet. Licenses will be available for 6 different sectors of the weed economy. 1, cultivator. 2, manufacturer. 3, wholesaler. 4, distributor. 5, retailer. And 6, delivery. There will also be a license set aside for micro businesses with 10 or fewer employees. An interesting consideration for the weed business for my clients to consider is the impact of, quote, social justice on the decision-making process by the CRC. Let me explain. So what is social justice? The state lawmakers have said their main motivation for supporting legalized recreational marijuana was social justice. An ACLU analysis of 2018 New Jersey arrest data found that black residents were arrested for marijuana possession at a rate 3.5 times higher than their white counterparts, despite similar rates of usage. They also wanted to ensure that black and Latino communities, which were over-policed during the war on drugs, they said, would now be able to reap the benefits of the new legal marketplace. The CRC advised that equity would flow through all of the decisions that the CRC would have to make, from advertising to quality control requirements to how the application process is set up and what fees might be required. This is very important. Authorities advised they are going to work with the CRC in terms of helping to establish an application process with lower bars to entry so that people from disadvantaged communities can in fact engage with this industry. Prioritization for licenses will be given to businesses located in areas called impact zones, which are cities and towns that were negatively impacted by past marijuana enterprises that contributed to higher concentrations of law enforcement activity, unemployment, and poverty, according to New Jersey law. These zones have not yet been identified, but we are eager to find out where they are. So to my clients considering opening up a location in, let's say, rich Bergen County towns, we are discussing that, along with also opening one in one of the impact zones in order to hedge our bets for approval of a license. These impact zones will also see a higher share of tax revenue from weed sales. 70% of sales tax proceeds from recreational marijuana transactions will be sent to impact zones as grants, loans, and other financial aid. The remaining tax revenue, or 30%, will be used to pay for the operating costs for the Commission, the CRC, and reimbursements for towns, counties, and the New Jersey State Police for training officers who can spot drivers impaired by drugs and not have to violate their rights. What do we do next? We are currently waiting for the CRC and state officials to draft regulations and create specific applications for each of the 6 licenses. Once those licenses and the governing regulations are made available, we will work with our clients to fill them out and get them back into the approving authority's hands immediately. However, my office is in the possession of similar license applications and drafts of what we are to expect in the 6 license categories. And we have advised our clients to begin gathering the necessary information that will eventually be required for those licenses, as well as filling out the general information of the sample license applications themselves. For example, we have licenses from other states that have approved recreational marijuana and know what the state will be requiring. We have done our homework for quite some time here at my office. Furthermore, we have instructed our clients to put the necessary funds that which are for the respective license fees in trust with our office, as well as place a legal retainer for legal work with us to complete this work when the applications are made available so that we have fast turnaround. While applications are not decided on a first-come, first-approved basis, we believe that if we provide the CRC with qualified applicants who have all their ducks in a row already and expeditiously, we provide our clients with a strong opportunity to be approved without delay of gathering application information and/or the necessary application fees. For example, at last check, the application fee for a distributor, retailer, and delivery license was $20,000 in total, plus $10,000 in a legal fee retainer to my office for our representation of our clients throughout the process. This process won't be cheap, but this will be a huge income-producing business for those of my clients who take this seriously and are ready to move before others are. We welcome your comments and inquiries to our office. Call us if you would like to set up an appointment to discuss these matters. This industry is going fast once these applications get completed and we'll be ready to move. So we're here for you. By all means, call us to set up an appointment. Thank you very much. Have a good day.